Lob it to Ryan Perez in the paint off a couple of screens.
Esquivel to Garcia. Off the deflection. Los Fresnos comes back and wins. Now Santa Maria will put up a three. Bang! Santa Maria!
There's Warner. Here comes a head of the jam. Counted for two. Field. Adios! And the Falcons win on a walk-off. And it's saved. What a game.
What's this? Smack. To the left. That is gone.
Lob for Perez. That's my play. Off the backboard. Counted. And a win. And a win. Ryan Perez wins the game for the Santa Rosa Warriors. And they...
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in the bottom half of the gold bracket. We are in game number 2, Pool C and Pool D. Pool C coming in, Gregory-Portland, the winner, taking on Pool D's Corpus Christi King. King coming out of a pool with Sinton, Carlisle, and London, while Gregory-Portland was in a pool with Corpus Christi Miller, Corpus Christi Moody, and Sharyland Pioneer. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get things going. The home team, Gregory-Portland, the visiting team, Corpus Christi King. Now we're going to get things going with Gregory-Portland serving, and this one's going to go out of play. It's going to be a King point. And GP ties it up. So 1-1 here. Gregory-Portland coming out just looked dominant in pool play. Played really sharp and looked strong. And speaking of looking strong, yesterday Miranda Lopez, one of our players of the game during their first matchup against Sinton, she looked sharp, and you can see why there. She comes up big on the front of the net, and this one out of play. That's Morgan Suggs, and King leading 3-1. And Lillian McCoy played pretty well on the net yesterday in the game that we saw her in that opening match against Sinton. Nice job there from the libero, Pimentel, getting down low for the dig, but King able to come up with the return, and now it's going to be Gregory-Portland's Taylor Borden on the serve. And here's Lopez. Out of play, and it's going to be Gregory-Portland point, and we're tied here at 3. And here's a setup for Garcia. Guerra and Pimentel into the net. And the game tie here at 4-all. Here's Lopez. Borden pops it up. Set it up for Kilgore. And Gregory-Portland pulls ahead. And Mackenzie Sathoff with the serve, and they're at the net. Making her presence known is Yanalise Galarza. She's played well. She's a big force on the net for Corpus Christi King, as we see Harley Guerra coming up to serve. And set up there for Kilgore, and she fires it right across and out of play. And here's Guerra on the serve. And back and forth we go as GP. Ties it up. Ball in play. Guerra sends it to the back row. GP ready for it. And there's Kuzma. Sends it flying out of play. And King leads 7-6. And here's a serve from Danae Cullum. And that one fired right towards Cullum to tie the game up. And back and forth we go. Kelsey Trevino. With the serve. Here's a setup. And that was McCoy sending it back to Trevino. Trevino sends it over. Guerra with the bump. Here's a set. Here's McCoy. And it falls fair. And McCoy set up perfectly there in the front of the net. Goes up with it. Center net. With a strong attack. Picks up the kill. And King takes the lead back 8-7. And here's Madison Pimentel. And there's Kuzma. Pimentel is there, and Pimentel goes low again, and back-to-back strong attacks to Madison Pimentel on that back row, and valiant effort there. Just the second time got the better of her, but you can see her head on a swivel there as Canyon Rodriguez goes back to serve for Gregory-Portland. Garrett with the bump. Here's the set by Pimentel. Lopez going to send it over from the back row. And there's Kaylor Nesloni on the outside part of the net to the left. Puts it down for the kill, and it's Gregory-Portland in front. And there's Kuzma, and that one falls fair. And Sydney Kuzma, she gets going. She is one of those you can just rely on. You set her up as long as she gets the timing down right, and she can. She's really strong, really agile, especially around the front of the net. And there's Kuzma again. You can see that. It goes right off of Gabriella Jones. As Jones went up to contest, and Kuzma won that exchange. And there's a serve from Canyon Rodriguez. Here's Lopez. Sends it to the back row. And Borden trying to come up to get it, but it falls just short of the reach of Borden. So it's 11-9, and here's Gabriella Jones on the serve. And Kira Sablatura puts it down for a GP score. And there's McCoy. And here's Lopez, and Lopez comes up with an outside hit. Puts it down for the kill. And back comes King as they now trail 12-11 here in the early going of set number 1. Should be a good one as we saw these teams come out of their respective pools. Gregory-Portland out of Pool C, King out of Pool D. And this one goes out of play off the hands of Nesloni, and the game's tied up now, 12-all. As you see Lillian McCoy to the service line for Corpus Christi King. And Gregory-Portland takes the lead there. And coming up big there, Yalanis Galarza. And sends Lopez back to the service line. So Miranda Lopez on the serve for Corpus Christi King. Here's a set. Nice defense there by King. And sending it over is Libby Foster. Here's a setup for Trevino. Cullum sends it over. Borden. Here's a set. There's Nesloni. Sends it out past the back line, and King in front again. They lead 14-13. Here's Lopez. Guerra sends it careening off to her right and out of play, and GP ties it back up, 14-all. And that one skips on the net. Nice play there by Guerra. Gets it just over, sends it skipping, and puts GP on its heels. Coming up with a point there. And here's Harley Guerra with the serve. Borden pops it up, and it's sent over there by Canyon Rodriguez. They set it up. Borden pops it back over. Guerra with the bump. Here's the set. Coming around. It's Libby Foster. And GP ready for it. And here's Kilgore. And met at the net there by Cullum and Foster. And GP ties it up there. Just King in position, just didn't fall their way. It's Marley Espinosa on the serve. This one out of play, gives GP back the lead, 16-15. And solid gold bracket action here. This game number 2, the winner will take on the winner from our first game, which was Toloso Midway. This one comes down right out of the reach of Mackenzie Sathoff. And it's 16-all, and here on the service line is Danae Cullum. Cullum sends it over. And this one right out of play. And Guerra looked like she was going for it, but saw that it was going to go out of play. Second thought it there a little bit. And King back in front, and here's Cullum. Sends the serve. And this one out of play, and back and forth we go, 17 all. Lopez gets it, and there's McCoy on the net. And Kuzma sends it over, and she gets it by Libby Foster. And Gregory-Portland in the lead, and here's the serve. Kelsey Trevino. They set it up for McCoy. McCoy pops it in there to that far right corner. And McCoy ties it up there. A nice strong attack up front. 18-18. This one out of play. And Gregory-Portland back in front. Canyon Rodriguez on the serve. Guerra receives it. Here's the setup. There's McCoy. There's Gregory-Portland ready for it there, but it comes back into King's favor. And 19 all here with Gabriella Jones serving. She's gonna pick up the ace. And there at the net, nicely done from Morgan Suggs. They're going to give the point over to King. So 21-19. And there's Jones on the serve. Set it up for Kuzma. Kuzma over McCoy. Gets a piece of McCoy and just a little bit high there for Lillian McCoy, and can't quite stop it there as it rolls off her fingertips and falls on their side of the net. But coming back, Kuzma sends the serve into the net, and King now up 22-20. Here's the serve. Borden receives it. Here's the setup. And Lopez goes down with it, and nicely done there, and Cullum's able to get it across. Borden comes across, makes a nice play, gets low for it. Here's Lopez. Borden pops it up. Here's the setup. Kilgore sends it right into Cullum as it bounces off of her and goes out of play. And Madison Kilgore winning that exchange there at the net. And here's number 7, Taylor Borden. Serves it. And GP ties it up, and we're tied here at 22 all. Sent over, Kuzma. Set it up there for Trevino. Puts GP in the lead. Nice setup there. Trevino in the center net, able to come up and put it down. And a little bit of a late run here by GP. Puts them in front, 23-22. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back. This is Real Sports Live. Keep it here.
Stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past? First pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
We are Rio Grande City and you're watching Real Sports Live.
you're watching Real Sports Live.
Hi, I'm Roldo Vegas and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable. For condo and beach house rentals, call and visit the website today. Island Services.
We are Portisville, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 24-24. Hotly contested game here, and sending it into the net is Katarina Horse. We're knotted up at 25. Win by 2. And this one sent over by Danae Cullum. And GP in the lead, so GP set point here for them. Lopez sets it up. Here's McCoy. And they set it up, and there's Kuzma. Gabriella Jones into the net, and that's going to be it. And Gregory-Portland comes out as they win a really close opening set, 27-25 over Corpus Christi King. We're on to set number 2, and as Gregory-Portland leads 1-0. And we're going to set up for set number 2, and we'll be back. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
We're the Red Texans, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Hi everyone, it's that time again. It's time to register your child for school. There are 3 simple steps. Step 1, call McAllen ISD, 687-MISD. Step number 2, let us help you choose the right school for your child. With over 30 options in the city, we're bound to find the perfect match and fit for your child. Step 3, get ready for the first day of school. Classes begin August 26th. Remember, you can live anywhere and attend our schools. And even if you're already registered somewhere else, it's never too late to join the McAllen ISD family.
We are Santa Rosa, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Real Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
We are Eddie Rivella, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
We are La Villa, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Uniforms.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to get going here with set number 2. Gregory-Portland victorious, 27-25. in set number 1. Really closely contested, back and forth affair. So we're going to get going. Set number 2 on the way. Gregory-Portland winning the first. King was right there. Came down to the wire late in that first set. As we're going to get going, and the opening serve is going to go to Corpus Christi King, and Madison Pimentel going to get us going here. They set up, and here's Kuzma right out of the gate. Sends it straight to Pimentel like a missile, and Sidney Kuzma starts off strong here, and Gregory-Portland aggressive early on. On the outside and cross court, but a little bit on it, and we're gonna get the call from the official, and I believe it's gonna be Gregory-Portland's ball, and I believe that was Gabriella Jones going cross court as this one skips right over. Nice ace there, Canyon Rodriguez. And Gregory-Portland rolling, they lead 3-0, and that was just a nice serve from Rodriguez. Just skips it over the top of that net. And those types of serves are just really hard to contend with. There's Kuzma. Kuzma sends it beyond that end line and out of bounds. And here's Jones with the serve. And they set up Espinosa with it, and King sends it over McCoy. Borden receives. There's the set. And Espinosa goes up strong on the net and picks up the kill. And it's 4-1 Gregory-Portland. Staying up, here's Espinosa again. Guerra gets a piece of it. Here's the setup for Lopez. Back to them, and there's Guerra once again setting up McCoy. McCoy's there in the center of the net. Scores 4-2. And Lyndon McCoy back. To serve for Corpus Christi King. Guerra over to Borden, who receives it. Here's the setup. Kilgore sends it to the back row. Pimentel receives. Here's Lopez on the outside and gets a piece of Espinosa. And Lopez makes it 4-3, and King, after a 3-0 start by Gregory-Portland, on a little bit of a run here. And they set up Kilgore, and Kilgore just in a right position, able to survey where all the defenders were for Corpus Christi King, and just had to be finesse with it and make sure the placement was right. Gets it done in a little empty space on the floor, and easy point there for Kilgore as Borden with the serve. Here's Lopez on the outside, met there by Kilgore. Here's a setup. Here's Espinosa. And big play there, Yanalise Galarza. but goes off. Goes off Galatasaray and out of play, and that's going to be a GP point, but nice play nonetheless. And there's Lopez, but GP on the front of the net. Nice defensive play there, and it's a 4-point lead for Gregory-Portland. Here's Borden, sends it over. It's received. Here's a setup for Galatasaray. And Galatasaray a little bit too much on it, sends it cross-court and out of play. And it's 8-3, and GP with a five-point lead here in set number 2. Here's Borden. Guerra, and Pimentel sends it over. Borden receives. Here's the setup. And there's Trevino, double block there by Danae Cullum and Galatasaray. Miranda Lopez on the serve. And it's not going to be returned as she's going to pick up the ace there. Came into Kuzma, and Kuzma sends it over into the vicinity of Kilgore. And just nobody there. And here's the setup. In the middle, that's Trevino, and Trevino picks up. And goes up with it, and it's going to be a king point there. There's Lopez with the serve, popped up. Here's the setup. Here's Espinosa. Borden is setting up Kilgore on the opposite end over to Guerra. Here's the setup for Libby Foster, and Foster going to get it to fall, and GP side not agreeing with that last call, but this one skips, goes over, and an ace for Lopez, and it's 8-all here. And King and GP back and forth. It was a 4-point lead for Gregory-Portland. That's gone, and now tie game 8-all in the midst of this competitive second set. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
The opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
The Brownsville Independent School District continues to provide a safe environment for enriching education. From pre-K3 to early college high school, the award-winning district has advanced its legacy in curriculum, athletics, and fine arts. Teachers are driving the frontier of technology, bringing industry to the classroom. On and off the field, Brownsville ISD students engage in the experiences that make them college and career ready. Brownsville Independent School District, the best choice.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
And coming back out of that timeout, long rally between the two, and GP getting the better of the exchange, picking up the point there. So Mackenzie Sathoff on the serve for GP. Lopez sends it over. Sathoff receives. Here's Kilgore. Sends it over to Guerra, and Guerra gets to it, but what a play there by Kilgore. And this one right off the hands of Kyler Ross, and the ace for GP. And GP comes out of that timeout. 3 straight points, in Gregory-Portland with the momentum right now. Mackenzie Sothoff serves. It's received there by Lopez. Here's the setup. Natalie Garcia returns it. Here's the setup. Here's Kilgore, and Kilgore comes up strong with the outside hit. And Madison Kilgore makes it 4 straight points for Gregory-Portland. Yeah, receives. Here's the setup. Here's Lopez from the back row attack. And a nice play there by Sathoff to get it over. There's Kilgore, and Kilgore gets to the fall fair, and back-to-back kills for Kilgore, and they come out 5 straight points for Gregory-Portland. And timeout, Corpus Christi King. Keep it here. We'll be back. This is Real Sports Live.
Stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
We are Rio Grande City and you're watching Real Sports Live.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 5 straight points out of the last time out. Let's see how Corpus Christi King reacts here. And a nice play up front on the net. I believe that was Candy Rodriguez coming up with a smart, solid defensive play there on the outside part of the net, and it's 14-8, and Mackenzie Sathoff still at the service line. Seems like she's been there for a while. And here's a setup here for Galarza. And Kilgore chasing after it, and that's going to stop the momentum a bit as King's going to get a point back. A nice play there. There's Kilgore. Kilgore making her presence felt on the net. Just here on that left outside part of the net. She's playing well. Had a couple of kills, got herself a block there. And Kilgore showing out here in this set as Katrina Horst comes to the service line. Set up by Sathoff. Back the other way, and there's Kuzma with the emphatic attack, the outside hit for the kill. Here's Horst. Here's the setup, and there's Jones, and there's Borden. Sathoff comes up with it there, but it's going to be a point over to Corpus Christi King, and it's a 6-point game. We've seen runs by both these teams. And there's Kuzma cross court, but Jones is ready for it. Here's the setup. Guerra sends it to the back row. That's Borden with the receiving, and Kuzma sends it over. McCoy with the bump, back to McCoy, sends it over, does GP. He set up, and McCoy reaches for it, able to get there, and Guerra sends it cross court. Sent over by Cullum. Antonivino lightly taps it over there. And nice rally there, but Trevino gets GP the point, and Trevino going to the line to serve, and with their team up 17-10. They set up Kuzma, and the block going back the other way. Still alive. Suggs sends it over. They set up McCoy, and McCoy in the center of the net. And it's back to a 6-point game, and McCoy's played well when she's gotten the chances. And here's Madison Pimentel. Up next, we'll have Calhoun taking on the loser of this game. For playing a de facto third place game. The winner here will move on to take on Toloso Midway as Pimentel comes up with the ace, and here comes Corpus Christi King and lead down to 4, but maybe that ace is just what King needed here as Pimentel sends it over. They set up Kuzma the runner, there's Guerra. They set up, here's McCoy. Meets Suggs in the center net, and the point gonna go over to King, and it's a 3-point game. And here's McCoy. And McCoy's playing well, and they cut the lead down to 2 after a really sizable lead where they were tied at 8. Gregory-Portland came out strong, pushed the lead a little bit, but now here we are with King trailing by just 2, 17-15, timeout GP. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back.
Sports Live.
Hi.
Coming out of that timeout, King puts up another point, and it's now 17-16. And Madison Pimentel, who's still at the line, been here for a while, and sends it over. There's Borden. They set up Kuzma, and Kuzma on the outside right into the face of McCoy. And Kuzma coming up strong there. And here's the serve. And this one goes out of play. King gonna get the point, and it's back to a 1-point game, 18-17. And off camera to our right, we have the Calhoun Sandys getting ready. And here's Suggs making it a 2-point game as Suggs on the center net comes up with the spike and the kill. And here is Sidney Kuzma. The outside for Lopez, 2 hands it over. There's Borden. Here's the setup. There's Kilgore, and Kilgore comes up big again. And she makes it a 3-point game, and here's Kuzma on the serve. Received there by Lopez, but sends it off and out of play. And Gregory-Portland now back up by 4. This one goes out of play, and point gonna go over to King, makes it a 3-point game. Here in set number 2, we're all wrapped up if Portland comes out, finishes, and wins this, and they're going to take the victory in straight sets if they can hold on. But King picks up another point here, and it's a 2-point game. And here's Lillian McCoy at the service line for Corpus Christi King. Set up, here's Espinosa. Pimentel over to Guerra. It's sent over by Cullum, and there's going to be a whistle, and it's Going to be an infraction on GP. I mean, on King, and the point goes over to GP. It's 22-19 now. And here's Borden. On the serve received by Guerra. There's a setup on the net. Nicely done there. Kelsey Trevino makes it a 4-point game, and GP 1 away. 2 away. And Taylor Borden. Here's a setup for Galatasaray. Double block there. Espinosa, Trevino. And it's 24-19. Set match point here for Gregory-Portland. Is a serve by Borden. Here's a setup for Lopez. Borden sets up. There's Kuzma. Sends it to the back row. Pimentel's there. They set up. Here's Lopez on the outside. There's Borden on the back row. Set it up. Here's Kilgore, and Kilgore on that outside, and she came up, timed it right, and put down the spike for the kill to end the match. And Gregory-Portland wins in straight sets, 27-25 and 25-19, as they came out strong and finished strong here in set number 2. And they are on to the championship game here in a couple of hours, or right after the third place game. We're going to have Calhoun coming up, taking on Corpus Christi King, and meanwhile we're going to have Gregory-Portland taking on Tolosa Midway in the championship game. So keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to set up for that one, and we'll be back. This is Real Sports Live.